Hello, this is Haley Crusher Kane, and you're listening to Crusher Talk. Great to be back with you. I am drinking a blood orange lemonade sparkling polar seltzer aid with essence of fresh lemons, 0 calories, 0 sugars, zero everything, 100% delicious. I get these at CVS. My favorite flavor is the cherry limeade, and it's got to be the best seltzer water out there. Just a shout out to Polar. I don't know why I only find them at CVS, but I'm obsessed with them. Please sponsor me. I'm back. It's been a great summer and just wanted to catch up with you guys. I wake up most mornings to voice memos from my loved ones and those closest to me. And it's the most wonderful thing walking down the street to get coffee in the morning and listening to voice notes. Voice notes have really taken over my life the last few years, keeping up with people. And it's just so fun because you can listen to them whenever you have time or whenever you're in the mood. And I don't always love the intrusiveness of a text or a call when I'm in the middle of like a hyper focus work session or I'm doing something, I'm on the go. So it's so nice to be able to give time and attention and to listen and then to take time to think and respond. So this is like your little voice memo I'm sending you. Maybe you're not going to respond, but I'm sure that whatever you're up to, I'm like a nice little companion to your day. That's the whole point of this entire Crusher Talk situation. I am going to update you because my gosh, it's been a few months and I'm realizing now it's longer than I even thought it's been because the last one that I did was a video Crusher Talk. And I talked about wanting to get an e-bike. And I feel like me post e-bike versus pre e-bike is a different person completely. I am obsessed with my e-bike. I've put over 200 miles on my e-bike. I have busted the tire twice on my e-bike. I love it so much. I'm one of those people that would never get on a motorcycle. I should not be on a motorcycle. But the e-bike is great because you can go from sidewalk to street really easily. It only goes up to 20 miles per hour, so it's not too much power. And it's allowing me to explore Detroit. And Detroit is so much about the little nooks and crannies, the back streets, the alleyways. See what I did there? It's about what's behind the facade. And in Detroit, there are so many businesses and little hole in the wall spots and things that, as sort of like a vain, well, I don't know, selfie wall obsessed kind of California millennial, you're like, oh, that can't be any good. But no, it's amazing. And it's almost like a dare that if you have the moxie to walk through the alleyway that smells like pee, sometimes you will find a really cool speakeasy, like in the case of Bad Luck Bar, where I took a couple girlfriends this summer. Not, I mean, I don't drink, so whatever, but the whole concept is really interesting. It's one of those bars where the ice has its own branded thing on it. It's, an experience. You're going to get smells and you're going to get crunchy things on your drink. You're going to get smoke and you're going to get maybe like a little, I don't know. It was a whole thing. It required all the senses. It was, I mean, I'm all for intentional everything. So if you're going to go get a cocktail, why not spend a bunch of money and have an intentional cocktail versus like having 6 beers? I mean, what's better? That's my opinion anyways. I know that that is probably unique to my generation, but I do think it's fun. I think it's a fun experience and I think that the people with the most experiences win. And in Detroit with my e-bike, I'm getting into little experiences everywhere, very low key experiences. Sometimes I'm just finding a really cool old building I would have never seen if I was just driving by, and I'm able to appreciate that. Or I'm seeing a really cool community space, community gardens. Um, it's been really great. I think experiencing a city on the level of walking or on your bike is such a beautiful thing, and I'll never forget this first summer with an e-bike and how expansive and yet so small Detroit seems. Shout out, by the way, to Babes on Bikes. This is a group of women that get together and do about a 10-mile ride through different neighborhoods. And that's been really cool. I just started doing that. And I think I did it solo to begin with. And of course, there's been definitely some situations where the potholes are insane in Detroit. The streets are sometimes like Mad Max level in terms of difficulty getting through. So there's definitely been trial and error, but there are groups available if you are trying to explore your city. I mean, Los Angeles, I'm sure, has a million of them, which is something I never really thought about when I was living in SoCal, but I think I regret that now. I think, yeah, in these driving cities, the motor city, doesn't mean you can't enjoy it by bike or foot. That's my little podium. I'm stepping off my soapbox now. Very excited. I'll share the e-bike that I got. I think it was a great value, and I love it. I love it. I'm actually fantasizing about riding it in the snow, which I'm sure sounds a lot more romantic than what the reality will be. So stay tuned for that. We are far from snow. We're in fall. We're just entering fall. It's going to be very, very hot this week, and I'm excited that my mom is coming to visit, and hopefully we're going to go tubing on the last kind of fun hot week in Detroit. I was talking to some friends last night at this yoga event that I go to. I'll tag Molly, who's a great yoga instructor in Detroit, by the way. She pops up all over the place. And she was talking about how, with the weather here, you know, because I said, oh, is this going to be the last week of like 80-degree weather, 90-degree weather? And she's like, well, you never know. And you have to have a well, you never know attitude. And I still come from this school of thought, this Californian school of thought of like, oh, well, you know, you can plan it in advance and then, you know, make all your plans so far out and, you know, go camping and you know the campsite, you know, not going to get rained out. And it's going to take a while for me to get to this point of no, you just never know. And the summer storms have definitely done that for us. We had a summer storm that knocked out the power for several days and in the summer, which is like, I thought that was a winter thing, but apparently it was like crazy winds and knocked down a bunch of stuff. I'm sure you guys have heard about it, or maybe you didn't. I don't know. It kind of depends on where you're at. It kind of feels like our whole world was coming crashing down. God, I think that was last month. Um, yeah, you just never know. And what you do is you get on your bike and you go get some ice and you put your ice in your freezer and you put your food in your freezer. And if you have a fully stocked freezer, I believe it is 48 hours and you are good to eat that food again. After 48 hours, throw it out. I did learn that. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. That's just what's been going on here in the Crusherverse. We're making some progress on this old house that we bought, gosh, 2022, I think we bought it. 1926 Gnome Dome. I've talked about it a few times on here, I'm sure, more than a few, but we haven't had much progress in the past few years as we've been more focusing on just like getting roots here and creating lives and also doing probably a little bit too much traveling and touring for people that have just relocated from across the country. So we got some new stuff happening. Like we have a makeshift cabinet in the kitchen now, which is our first cabinet ever, which is very exciting. I think I talked about how we got a washing machine last time, which is very exciting. No more laundromat. We have a place to store like you know, utensils and stuff that isn't completely disgusting, so that's exciting. We do have a giant gaping hole that looks directly down into the basement, which is terrifying, but that will be figured out eventually. I just try not to fall into it. But the house is coming along. We're definitely making some progress here, and I think it's always a dance of where you are, where you're going, and enjoying the journey. And I think this house renovation is teaching me to slow down, enjoy where we are, and not get so wrapped up in having everything finished. Because once everything's finished, you're just gonna want to do another thing. So we're pretty chill about it, and we do have our living room, which is beautifully done. Wallpaper, wainscoting. We got candelabras on the walls. We got our touch of class, velvet, heavy yellow gold velvet drapery. I mean, it is like full on grandma core up in here. Maybe not grandma core, but like if grandma was friends with the Great Gatsby or something. Gatsby grandma core. And so yeah, we're grateful to have what we do have done, and we're just gonna keep working on it. The winter will be a great time for that. Working on the house, doing some more writing, quiet time, you know, being inside. I know that Reed wants to do some painting. He's a great painter, and so he has all the stuff to do more painting, all the paints, all the brushes. I mean, I'm looking at them right now. They are ready. So just doing those like winter things. We're looking forward to that. I'm personally excited to make a mushroom lasagna. I make a really good dairy-free mushroom lasagna that tastes extremely savory, almost like meat, because the mushrooms are cooked with garlic and nice and caramelized and delicious. And I'm excited for that. Um, we do have our EP that has come out yesterday, which has been so cool to finally see it come out. It's been almost 2 years in the writing, recording, and finishing of this whole project, and we've learned so much from it. It's been so interesting. This is, maybe it's boring to you guys, so I won't go too far into it, but I think this release, even though it's only 5 songs, and I won't say only, it is 5 songs. That's great. 5 songs is better than 0 songs. And the vinyl actually will have, I believe, 5 live tracks as well as a bonus for the people that buy the vinyl. But the release, Unsubscribe from the Underground, is 5 tracks, but we did take each track individually and create its own world around it. And we were very careful to promote each song like its own thing, just create something special around it for everybody, and just make each step along the way its own destination, if I could tie that in, to the theme. And it's been really, really interesting to see how certain things work out or don't work out. But we've had our label Kitten Robot behind us every step of the way, and we've had some marketing help for the first time with some advertising. So you might have seen some ads with some video ads out there, which it's like so funny to me, because in the beginning I remember just throwing $20 at a video or something, and like, you're trying to pick the demographic, you're trying to pick all these things, and you're just like, I don't know, this is so overwhelming. So having somebody come in who, we're artists, okay? Like, I definitely have a way with words and a magic of storytelling and engaging with people, because I genuinely love and enjoy people. I think it's my special interest, really, is how people work and engaging people. But when it comes to the analytics, the data, what to do, how long to run these things, what is the most effective testing these things, this company we worked with was doing all this A/B testing to see which ads work for which things, and it is this alchemy that is so dark in some ways. But when it comes to making art and getting it to the right people, there's nothing wrong with putting a little bit of strength, a little bit of like extra backing behind finding your tribe. And I've always said that we're a band that is for a small group of people, but a small, very cool, crazy group of people that we love, and seeking those people out has been such an incredible joy. And that's why we love playing live. That's why we love meeting people at the merch table. That's why I do things like this, because I genuinely respect and am excited to engage with you. And I think that when I see bands or artists or just anybody, I guess businesses too, that take their audiences for granted or don't even reply to comments, I mean, that's such a big pet peeve for me. It's like, this person went out of their way to comment. They actually are reaching out. How could you just not? You're not going to reply because you didn't get 3,000 comments. 3 comments is absolutely the same thing. Like, if you don't care about 3 comments, you don't care about 3,000 comments. And I feel like that about playing live. I feel like that about music in terms of streams and who's listening. Like, I love that our music is connecting, and that I do hear your stories, and I do, like kind of get that energy from you guys, because I do, when we do put out songs, we get the vibe from you. We can feel like which songs are hitting, which songs are resonating in a way that was surprising to us. And I think what I want to do for the next few Crusher Talks, I'll just put this out there, is maybe talk about one song at a time, and yeah, talk about how things maybe have resonated with you guys, and talk a little bit about the making of the song, about how we feel about it, maybe the video, because I think we did 4 singles, and so we did 4 singles in about 5 months, I think it was, with videos. So we have a lot to talk about, and in some ways it's been such a quick thing where every time a single comes out, we have to go to the next one. It's like, okay, we gotta catch up. There hasn't been always time to really meditate on the actual single and think about it and get into it. And obviously, if you're signed up for this, you are into that. So I will do that. I think what I'm going to do is start with Let Go, because that's the last, I'm sorry, my brain. That is the last single that has come out yesterday with the release of the EP. Yay! And I'll just start with that because it's the freshest in my mind. And yeah, it's just in my mind because we were doing the video and I had to get it all edited and thinking about, what song we wanted to be the final song to unleash the EP. We knew Let Go was that song. I will say Let Go was one of those songs that kind of took us by storm. Like, it took us by surprise. We didn't realize that it was going to come, it was going to have this organic energy to it and fluidity to it. We really didn't. When we finally recorded it and got it all together, we listened to it. We all just kind of went, oh, yeah, this is going to be a song for us. This is definitely going to be a song for us. And here now, kind of re-engineering from, let's go back basically. Because I'm talking about that finished product, but I think now that I've had time to think about the song and really meditate on it, because we knew the song was going to come out as our last single before the release, or on the day of the release. I think a lot of it is out of our hands, and sometimes a song will surprise you that way, and you have to honor that and be like, okay, this was not the song that I molded meticulously out of clay and really tried to make it a certain thing. It just came out fully what it was, and it kind of took a different direction than we thought it would. So basically, this was a song that came together through a collaboration between me and Dr. Kane Esquire, aka Reed Kane. This has been a collaborative process that we've really perfected, I feel like, in the sense that we now really know how to play off of each other in this interesting way. And one of the things we do that just kind of creates freshness and makes sure that each of us isn't falling into our own pitfalls too much is one of us will write a chunk of something and the other will, add to it. And it adds a fresh perspective, it adds a duality, and that fast guitar part that comes in just in your face immediately was what he wrote. And so I had that demo for a while. I mean, this is probably 2, maybe even 3 years. I think I maybe started writing this when I was still living in California. I took that really fast, really charging, it was upbeat tempo. I think it was probably the tempo that it is in the recording now. It was really fast. And I just started riffing. And the thing that came to me initially was online. I mean, there's so much you can say about being online, living online, but it was actually writing from the perspective of the phone itself. And I do this a lot. Like, I always say Taboo, some of the lines in Taboo, it's like, I wrote the song from a snake's perspective. Your blood is on my mind. Like, you know what I mean? I'm thinking about it from an animal's perspective, and it's just a fun way to like prompt your writing is to like put yourself in the perspective of an iPhone. And I started riffing on it, and the words just kind of came out, and it kind of didn't make sense. I was like, sedate me on a Sunday. What does that even mean? Like, what's going on, And it kind of all came out in one kind of fluid thing. And then I started going back and like kind of tweaking different things and realizing like, oh, this really is coming from a part of me that is subconscious in a way. And if you listen to the lyrics, they kind of flip back and forth between the person on the phone, like being sedated, or what is it, medicated, medicate me on a Monday. You need your medication, you need your phone, from your palm into your vein, from your vein into your palm. I don't really remember exactly how I phrased it. And then it kind of flips to the phone, which is like, keep me on ice in your heart. And what I mean by that is like, your phone is literally on ice inside your heart anytime you go anywhere, and your friends and your family and all these people that you are in touch with, and maybe even like your parasocial relationships or things that you're obsessed with or your favorite artist, whatever, they're in your phone. They're on your phone, and whenever you click your phone and turn it on, it's like that world opens back up. So anywhere you go, it's like you have this little world just waiting for you, and it's on ice and it's in your heart, and the minute you press it, it just comes alive. And block my face and move along, some of these lines, they're about from the phone's perspective. So it's like the phone versus the person, and what is that interchange of um, thoughts and processes, and you know what I mean? It's like, and it's not a situation unique to me. It's a situation unique to most people now. There was a time when it was only the young people that were on their phone all the time, and now it's everyone. It's moms, it's dads, it's kids, it's babies. It's like everybody's on their freaking phone. It's so jarring to see the entire world, and I'm not saying anything new, that we're all on our phones. And it is like the new cigarette smoking. We are going to look back at this time once we get a little bit further from it and be like, wow, we were all complete like zombies, essentially, like the people in the 50s movies smoking cigarettes every 2 seconds. And there's been so many sci-fi, books and writers and people who have talked about and foreseen this happening, and it is happening. And I'm an optimist. I don't think that it's something that we can't get over and that we won't like find our way out, because we're human and we always find a solution. We always figure out how to get back to balance. I just think it's going to take enough of a um what's the word, like, of a backlash. And with AI and the acceleration of all these machine learning processes and stuff, we're pretty close to that. When we have a Taylor Swift AI talking about Trump and how she's going to and how she's going to back Trump, like, yeah, we're in that dystopia now. And we can deep fake people's faces, we can deep fake their voices. I mean, now we are really coming to this place where if there is a backlash that's going to happen, it will happen now. So that, I felt like that song kind of came from a really human experience. And um I don't know, the intensity of the music really inspired me, of the verse. And so I went in, as often happens when we collaborate on stuff. We don't always collaborate, but when we do, it's like this. I had this really fast chunk that was kind of given to me, and I wrote to it, and then I wrote the chorus. And to go from a very claustrophobic and fast and hard-hitting and dystopian kind of verse into a soaring, free floating chorus, just felt right. And it wasn't something, like I said, this was one of those songs that really came from a different part of who I am. It didn't really come from like the ego or the editor in me. It came from a really visceral place. Let go is something we can all I literally was going to say let go is something we can all hold on to, which is really silly, but it's true. Because what is let go? Let go is surrender. And what is surrender? Surrender is a lot of things for a lot of people. For some people, it's a spiritual realm. For some people, surrender is about being one with the universe. For some people, surrender is surrendering to a power higher than yourself. For some people, surrender is um, making love and connection, those higher feelings, those higher goals, like your main thing, right? This is what surrender is. And I don't love the word surrender. I think it's really dramatic and annoying, and it kind of reminds me of something like there's certain things that give me like Lifetime movie like cheesiness, and when I see surrender, it's like it's written in cursive, it's written in like papyrus print or whatever, and it's all dewy and beautiful, and it's like, fucking surrender. Easy for you to say. What the fuck is that? What is surrender? But let go to me feels more real. And when you're holding your phone, what do you have to do, right? You have to learn to let go. You have to learn to let the fuck go, right? Let go of the phone. Let go of whatever your perceptions are about what's happening on the phone, whether you're reading a political thing that's pissing you off, or you're making projections and assumptions about others based on their own projections and assumptions and completely like fake falsified avatars of themselves. Like, what a mind fuck is that? Let it go. Let it go. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where that chorus came from, and it came from a really deep place. And when we kind of put the song together, we didn't know exactly what was going to happen because this was just a demo in Bandcamp, okay, or Garage Band. Sorry, it was just a Garage Band demo. It had robot drums. We didn't have real people on it, and we recorded this with Gabe Masick, drummer, and Ryan DeLiso, lead guitar player. And I think we had just started playing with these guys. And we were playing in Ryan's basement in Detroit in the University District, and he has a small studio downstairs that he calls the Continental, which I love, by the way. It's like we recorded the instruments at the Continental. Um we didn't know what to expect. This wasn't a song that they had heard a million times. It wasn't something that we like engineered in a lab, okay? This was all of us coming together, and for, to be extremely honest, for me and Reed to come from California and to travel cross country and have our whole lives shaken up and to deal with some really unfortunate mishaps that happened along the way. It's like we we didn't know what to expect. We weren't settled in who we were here in this new city. So I think it comes through in the song. And actually, if you listen to the song and how it ends, that was not planned. It ends in this way that it almost seems like the guitar is just fucking, I don't know, it like made a sound, first of all, that I don't even know where that came from. That was me playing that part of the song when we recorded it. But Ryan did the rest. Ryan did the whole song. But I think I did the pick slide and I did the ending, the guitar just kind of flying into the air and like hitting a wall essentially, or not even hitting a wall. It just kind of, it almost has like a boing sound at the end, which I don't even know how that happens, but I am pretty good at happy mistakes. Um, but those were ever the pick slide was an overdub because who's getting a good pick slide? I'm sorry. No one's getting a good pick slide. And the best pick slides are the ones that are the happy accidents because you're trying you're trying like a fool to get something that is so organic and should not be meticulously crafted, first of all. And of course, the one that actually works is the one where you're like, oh, I farted and my guitar slipped or whatever, So, anyways, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, we came together to record it and the instrumentation in Ryan's basement. We did drums and guitar, bass there, I think. Bass as well, and yeah, they didn't know what's going on. They're just like, okay, well, I guess I'll play this song, right? And Gabe did a great job with the drums. They have a lot of energy, and like I said, there was no real ending of the song like the demo. Like a lot of times when we do demos, there'll be an ending, like there'll be a real ending that ends the song, and we didn't even have that for him when he laid down the drums, and that's why it kind of ends in this like question mark, like what's happening. But I love it so much. It's actually, I think Let Go is going to go down as one of my favorite Crusher songs ever. And it's because we actually let go. We let go of the image, the trying to do this, trying to do that. And a lot of times what you have in your brain is not what comes out. And I do feel like it came from a place beyond my own puny human, thoughts. It kind of came from this other realm. And I don't know. It's visceral. I hope that it connects with you and makes you feel, seen in a way, and in a time when we are all feeling very observed from afar, like we're all kind of animals in our own personal zoos that we put ourselves in, especially artists, we're forced to promote and create stories around ourselves in our art. And in some ways, it's a privilege. It's a huge privilege, and it's free. And we're able to connect with people. Like right now, I'm able to connect with people that I would never be able to connect with. There is no gatekeeper. There's no old white guy that's saying, you're not young enough. You're not hot enough. You're not cool enough. You're not this enough. Your genre doesn't work. Bass, drums, and guitar is dead. Whatever. There's no like asshole in a suit telling me that I can't do this. That's great. I'm into that. The internet has been so hugely helpful and inspirational to my journey as an artist, and I'm so grateful for that. But you know we are we do need to evolve into this time, and we do need to be not naive about it. We need to be wise. We need to be street smart. We need to know when apps and companies are not just trying to entice us, but to buy and sell our souls and our time and our attention, which is our greatest gift, and what we should be giving our loved ones truly, and our art and our animals and just the world, just to be out at a coffee shop without your earbuds in and to say hi to the barista. That's kind of a rare thing. I found recently, if I have my earbuds in too, it's like I realize the barista has their earbuds in as well. I'm like, they might be listening to some sort of raunchy romance novel. I don't know. And I'm over here listening to, Pod Save America, or I don't know, some audiobook about surrender. And it's just like, we're not even in the same world. The coffee is the only thing that connects us. And that's like not even, that's like 1 second of them passing the cup to you. Like, we need to think about these things. We need to be aware. And the song is not political in any way, but it is of its time. And I think the thing I'm proud of most about this EP is that it is of its time, both of its time in 2024, but also of its time in our lives as a band. And when I say our, my band is more than just me. It's more than just Dr. Kane. It's more than just a brand or whatever, or a t-shirt company that sometimes sells music, but sells mostly shark t-shirts. We just did a whole new run of those, by the way, because they keep selling out. We cannot keep them in stock. We're basically a t-shirt company, but also of the time of this motley crew of people that live on the East Coast, the West Coast. We got a couple over here, a couple over there. I say that there are crushers, our honorary crushers. We have people here and there, and it's like, this is not just me being cute. I think it's a feature, not a bug. This is something that has been adopted into our band because it has allowed us to sustain and to survive. And we could not do any of this without our musicians, our people, our friends in every city that we're in. And right now we happen to be in Detroit, but we flew to LA and did the vocals at Kitten Robot Studios with Paul Rossler and John Miller and our people in LA. And I'm very, very, very grateful that we have this awesome crew of people. And I'm proud of the fact that this EP is of its time, and it's of the essence of all these people where we're at in life. And I know that there is a rawness that comes through, and I do invite you to listen to it as its own entity. Now that it's not just a bunch of random singles, go listen to it and tell me what you think, and listen to our cover of Juice Newton's Queen of Hearts, which was something that was, very hotly debated. No, I would say it was hotly debated, but I really was chill about it because I want to do a Kim Wilde cover. Not everyone's crazy about that, right? Water on Glass. Like, you got to kind of take it. You got to take what you can take, and you got to give and take, So, when the Juice Newton cover was brought up, I was like, really? We're going to do that? I'd actually never heard the song before. And, but that's for another podcast. We'll talk about that next time. So another voice note. I hope that you enjoyed the release. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling excited. And yeah, I'm just happy to be back on here with you guys. If you do want to continue the discussion, you can find me at my newsletter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me at Facebook. I'm around. So if you need me, or if you want to share something, actually, I'll invite you to go to YouTube and leave a comment. I've been actually really enjoying the fact that people are leaving comments there, and it's been kind of fun. It's one of those things where I've looked back through the years, back to like our crappiest videos. I mean, it's funny how everything we do, is iPhone, and yet it's still somehow starting to get better and better, but it's all just on iPhone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's comments on videos back in the day too that I'm like, I didn't really like fully read them. And it's cool that we're having a community over on YouTube, and we do have some new followers over on YouTube. And I have been trying to do these like YouTube shorts and all the vertical video that is just, I guess, like humanly, like it's just required. Like, you're born and someone says, you need to make vertical video. Like, that's the first thing that we should be telling children when they're born. Hey, by the way, if you're not making vertical video, you're obsolete. So we got some vertical video over there, and I'm going to keep trying to like update those and just kind of share whatever like funny thing we're doing, like memes and stories and whatever, and ideas and things pertaining to our songs. I'm just going to throw them everywhere and not try to think too much about it, because everyone is everywhere all at once, and so why not just fling a bunch of spaghetti at the wall? do want to say also thanks to our buddy Alex who helped us film this Let Go video. We actually filmed it running through the alleyways in our neighborhood of Hamtramck in Detroit. Alex rode the e-bike, my e-bike, while Dr. Kane sat on the back and filmed while I ran, singing Let Go double time. So I created a double time version of the song, and then I put it in slow motion in Final Cut Pro, and then edited it. And that's the entire video, essentially. The choruses were done with green screen. Hey, it's lo-fi. Just, you get what you get. As Trixie Mattel would say, you get what you get. Enjoy it. This is all you get. Until next time. Have a lovely day. I'll be back with you to talk about the next song on the lineup. All right. Unsubscribing officially.